I can do what I want when I want to do it. I can do what I need when I need to get through it. When I need someone else, can't be too proud for help, but gotta look after myself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what today is. But it's exactly what you make it. So please don't go wasting. And I'll do the same, even if it's raining. How could I complain? And my feels got me feeling some type of way. You always free to take a break. Hope you feel what I felt. You gotta look after yourself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. Of what a good day is.
It's a beautiful day.
And that's exactly
We
what
are in the
today
building. Y'all
is.
know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you could hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. Let's go. It's about time. We got a holiday or something coming up. I don't know what's going on in here. How are y'all doing? Hopefully everybody is well. Good to see y'all in here this morning. I see the 1s in the chat, so that means we're good. But let's see how we're looking up in here. First of all, woo, that's what I like to see. We're looking all crispy and clean on the screen. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the Music Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE Beats of ClassEbeats.com. And yes, this is live. We are live. I know people are going to be asking, is this live? We are actually live today. It's going to be a great time. We got a lot of stuff to get to, some drama. I've got some smoke for an attorney. I did not want to do this today, but I've got to do it, y'all. So it's going to be a good time. Y'all make sure you stay locked in. But before we get into it, I've got to say what's up to the people, though. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Who we got in the building this morning? My awesome, amazing Amy is in here, always showing love and support. And thank you, Amy, for everything you do. I love and appreciate you. Alejandra is in here. We've got Kim, Aphis, Nicholas, Leona, Carmen. Perfect Peace is in the building. I like that name. We ain't got no quit. Oh, another one. KH, the Honorable Attorney Kel Bell is in the building. Thank you so much to all our amazing attorneys who are in the building as well. I appreciate y'all so much for the insight you guys give into the law and on the legal side. You are such a valuable member of this community. So thank you to the Honorable Kel Bell. Kel Bell, I do have some smoke for an attorney today. It's not you, so you're good. Minnie Perkins is up in here. We got Alejandro with the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Nana Banana Voodoo. Is it Connie D? Miss Collins is in here. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Nisha's in the building. We've got, I said what's up to Minnie Perkins. Good to see you, Monteresa. We've got Virginia, Amanda. We've got Grace is in here as well. Paul, good to see you. QB2K is up in the building. Decline. We've got Rosalind. I think I said that right, and then it went away. Rosalind's in here. Demetrius is in here. Good morning. Good morning. And the World's End is in the building as well. Good to see y'all. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. David says live, not Memorex. Oh my goodness. David Taylor, what are you talking about? You know, I mean, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Shout out to David Taylor though in here showing his age. We got 904 Cowboy, Linfinity, and the Black Butterfly. All right. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Before we get started, if you guys could do me one favor, I know it's not right to ask as soon as the show starts, but I can't help it. If y'all could please like the video on your way in. Not only is it free, not only does it help the show continue to grow, but it does let the algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show, and it shares the video with more people. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I know I'm running late today, so we're going to go ahead and get right into our first topic if y'all are ready. Paul says it's a 90s commercial. Okay, I should know that. I'm not that young, so I should know that. Demetrius is in here. Yeah, and Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. Thank you for that, Demetrius, for reminding me. Y'all let me know, what are y'all up to for this Christmas holiday? Hopefully everyone has got some nice plans. Y'all get to spend some time relaxing. Maybe it's that simple. We got Anton Bishop is back in the building. Let me know in the chat what y'all are up to. Sea Travel, good to see you. Jordan, good to see you. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, if y'all could please like the video. I'm gonna keep begging for likes until I'm off of YouTube, or y'all just like the video automatically. So thank you again to everyone who's liked the video so far. And let's go ahead and get into it. So this one's gonna be fun. And I've been enjoying watching Joe Brown absolutely cook Fani Willis and the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. We're going to get into another video that was posted by the awesome, amazing Amy, and I will have a link to the video in the description if y'all want to watch the full coverage of this. But Joe Brown gets into more of what we talked about in the last video, which I mentioned several times, with the meeting between Fani Willis, Kamala Harris, and the mayor of Atlanta before all the indictments came out against Donald Trump. That's conspiracy, y'all. And if what Judge Joe Brown is saying is true, Fani Willis is going to be in trouble. And I think she might be the one in this instance to get thrown under the bus. Either way, y'all let me know what you think. And we're going to check out this video and go subscribe to Amy's channel as well. Let's go.
Problem is going to be the conspiracy situation for this bunch, because even if it's a legal act done in a legal fashion, if you conspire to do it, that's a felony. So he met with, so that implicates everybody in the White House. I imagine what might be happening is that there is a plea agreement being struck between the feds and him, where he gives testimony against the Biden White House, Harris, and all of the rest of the bunch, and the Attorney General for conspiracy. So he will be allowed to plead guilty to something with a lesser cap than what the rest of the people would be facing. Interesting.
But I also think that, see, listen, they are planning how to save their ass. They're, so it's not like he's throwing her under the bus without. I don't think he's throwing her under the bus. I think he's
throwing her under the bus.
But I think it's part of their plan.
See, but the federal system is draconian. It's not. There is no good way to get through it, even if you're acquitted. It is a dangerous system. True. It's not what is intended by our set of laws. And I warned the public over and over again about how far it's gone down the rabbit hole. It is.
Not to mention that they have a 98% conviction rate. You get in the federal system, you might as well give it up.
Not like a state prosecution.
No.
It's persecution, and it's within the exclusive discretion of the U.S. attorney, because the federal grand juries are essentially rubber stamps. And anytime they convene a grand jury and they present their one-sided case, that's going to result in a horror for somebody, particularly a really innocent person who doesn't even know where to start defending the case.
Yep.
Because there are no clues the feds don't give them, which, by the way, makes what they did up in New York with the mayor and what they did
Eric
with Trump up there, not Trump, Diddy up there in New York, very suspect, because Usually you'd get 2
Uh-oh.
paragraphs, but you got 14 pages on a 3-count indictment and 57 pages on a 4-count indictment, which they never ever know how no way do. So they're trying to do PR and do a persecution, but it backfired because their little freak casting couch lady didn't make it.
Right.
Joe Brown, come on, man.
Well, so this was some breaking news, right? That came out a couple of days ago. Fani Willis bombshell whistleblower exposes Bill Barr as mastermind behind Fani Willis RICO case against Trump. So it says
That's conspiracy if the facts are proved.
Yeah, so in a shocking turn of events, whistleblower Patricia Louise Baldwin has come forward with explosive allegations against Bill Barr and Fani Willis. Baldwin, a Brazilian native with a storied career in politics, including work in the Brazilian Congress, has provided audio recorded testimony that exposes Barr as the architect of the Fulton County RICO with Fani Willis. This testimony, rich with claims of secret meetings and strategic legal maneuvers, suggests a level of coordination between Barr and Willis that has not been previously acknowledged.
But now, if Judge Joe Brown knows this, and again, he has over 50 years of experience, do you not think Donald Trump is over there plotting and scheming? Like, oh yeah, I know exactly how we're going to play this. Listen, man, I don't know if he really wants to take the energy to pursue this, but it seems like from what we're hearing and what we're seeing, it would be an easy path because as Judge Joe Brown is going to say, the amount of collusion and conspiracy that's going on behind the scenes to quote unquote take out Trump in this case includes Fani Willis, and it's easy to point to and easy to see based on all these meetings that took place.
But it's very highly suspected.
Not looking great.
I certainly have been thinking about it for a long time. It's pretty obvious if you were experienced with such things, what you're looking at. So,
yep.
As I said, I've never seen a dumber stunt in my entire 50-year-long career than what Fani Willis pulled off. That was the dumbest stunt I've ever seen. It takes my first place now for dumb, crook, and Fifth Amendment.
Talk about
so
it,
said
Joe.
This woman, Baldwin, the audio testimony recorded with Baldwin's husband reveals that Patricia is the primary source of the information, with her husband contributing additional knowledge. Patricia claims to have all the necessary evidence, documents, photos, and other receipts to substantiate her claims. In full disclosure, the couple also admits to being recently targeted and indicted on a wire fraud charges. Who was Bill Barr again?
With the Attorney General's office.
Under Biden.
Conspiracy.
Right. So
Fani
they're saying that her testimony is damning. She asserts that Bill Barr was deeply involved in orchestrating RICO charges against President Trump, which will explain the meetings and the visits to Vice President Kamala Harris' residence in office and the White House when they
conspiracy. And all that needs to be done is any one of the conspirators commit an overt act, and all of them are brought up into it.
Yep, and we saw all the overt acts that were used in this RICO case. Instagram posts, music videos. And you think you can't say that there's an overt act when it comes to Fani Willis and the mayor of Atlanta going to Kamala Harris's house? Fani about to catch a RICO. It's going to happen.
Right.
I said, if it weren't for the fact that it would be a conspiracy, it can be committed by doing a legal thing in a legal fashion. In other words, you can do something legal. Like there's nothing wrong with you raising the prices of your product in your retail store. That's your business as a businessman, right?
Right.
But if you and 10 other businessmen decide to get together and conspire to raise your prices or to drop your prices to drive an 11th individual out of business, then that's a conspiracy and it becomes illegal. Aside from violating antitrust situations too.
Well,
lowering prices was not certainly not against the law for a merchant to drop his prices. But if he drops it because he's agreeing with other merchants to drop the prices to run another third-party merchant out of business, that's a conspiracy and it's criminal.
Yep.
Well, I think also that they both are trying to speed up to get whatever conviction or punishment from Congress or whoever so that Biden can pardon both of them, Nathan Wade and
he don't have to wait until they get indicted. He can give them a blanket pardon up front.
Oh, he can.
Yeah. Obama did that with 23 British petroleum executives who looked like they were about to be in big trouble for that Gulf oil rig blowout down in the Gulf that caused all those billions of dollars worth of damage.
Oh, so then why don't he just, maybe he's going to do it in January right before.
That assumes he's astute enough to do it. And that assumes that it is as it appears to be.
He said if he's as astute enough to do it. Dang. This is interesting. So what Judge Joe Brown is saying is that essentially Joe Biden could head this off and make sure that there are some things in place so that Kamala Harris and Fani Willis and whoever isn't held accountable for this and grant some type of blanket immunity, right? But if he does that, it would be strange because then he would kind of be admitting that there was something wrong there or that he knows that Trump could go after them. So I don't know what move he makes in this instance. It seems like his hands are kind of tied because if he does give this immunity, then it's like, okay, well, everything that Trump was saying is true. And they were just doing this to try and bring him down. And there was really nothing there, which would be right inside of Fani's wheelhouse, if you ask me.
And that assumes that it is as it appears to be.
Mm-hmm. He did it for Hunter.
Now,
but then the question comes into, remember, who's going to pardon him? And then it would be one hell of a stink if he pardoned the vice president.
Ooh.
Or, you know, like, wow, this chick was a candidate for U.S. president.
Why would he have to pardon a vice president?
Because she's the one that had the meetings. It was the
So she would be in trouble too?
She's a head conspirator.
Okay, so, God. All right.
See, if they, in other words, if some people said we're going to get Trump, let us plan and plot on how we're going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So the crucial thing is let's get Trump. That's the objective. If somebody says we're going to crack down on crime, and you uniformly crack down on all crime, and the former president got caught up in it, that's one thing. But if you say we're going to get him convicted of a crime, we know he must have done something. Mm-hmm. We will make sure he doesn't win. Well, that's the object of the conspiracy. So as soon as they start meeting to bring that about, I don't care what they do, they're committing a felony.
Ooh, Judge Joe Brown is 1000% right. And we've been talking about this, and I told y'all over and over and over, these meetings are not okay. They're not right. And if there's any 1 ounce of evidence, an overt act being this meeting taking place, going to her house, and then this indictment magically appears, it's going to be a bad day. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm not going to play the full video. The link to the full video will be in the description, and y'all make sure you go over and subscribe to Amy's channel as well. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Y'all think Fani is going to be caught in her own RICO? Oh, that would be wild. It would be wild to see. What we can only wait and see what happens. What do y'all think? My goodness. Shout out to y'all supporting and super chatting over there. I will be reading super chats throughout the show as well. We've got Alejandra with the 1 bomb, just showing some love. Thank you. And then my guy D Mo Yo 360 up in here with the 5 bomb says, good morning, everyone. CEB gang, Merry Christmas to everyone. Lock up Fani and let Luigi go. We're going to talk about Luigi today, actually. How did you know, Demo? Yo, we're going to talk about Luigi towards the end of the show. It's going to be interesting to see how his hearing went that he recently had. But yeah, shout out to Judge Joe Brown. He's trying to get Fani up out of there. Beautiful messy ball in here saying something about Biden administration is talking about giving blanket immunity to J6 committees and Fauci. Oh my gosh. You know what that means. All y'all double, triple, quadruple shot folks. You might have messed up. Biden isn't competent enough to pardon anyone. Someone else is signing off on those and making his decisions. Yeah, can we give a round of applause for the first man of the United States and President Joe Biden? I agree, beautiful messy ball. Shout out to President Joe Biden. I think she had a good run. Luigi should not be let go unless he's proven not guilty, and it's not looking good. My guy, Dr. EJ in the building, gifting 5 memberships. We'll give him a round of applause. Thank you for the support. And if you got a membership from Dr. EJ, make sure you say thank you. My guy doing the good work out here. Miss Sassy says, wow, I thought people knew anyone can buy jail calls, video calls, transcripts, behavior records simply by applying for an FOIA and paying for it. It's not a leak. Miss Sassy, we're going to get into it. And I've got some smoke for one of our favorite attorneys over here. So it's going to be interesting. I'll be interested to see what y'all think about this. We've got one other thing we're going to get into first, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving. Again, I'm going to ask y'all, and thank you to all 567 of y'all that have so far for liking the video. If y'all could take a second and like the video, it's free. It really does help the channel out, and I'm going to keep begging until we're at 100% on the regular. All right, so let me get this next one set up. This is something that y'all may not have heard about. And I want to give, again, as I always do multiple times throughout the show, a big shout out to Amy for putting me on to this article. So y'all check this out. So as we know, no more ads. So as we know, and we saw, there were a couple pictures during the trial of us seeing Brian Steele wearing this special spider brand that was dropped by Young Thug, technically YSL. Either way, there's been some dope designs that have come out, and they were recently copied by a company in China. Well, Young Thug heard about it, was not having any of it, and he filed a lawsuit against one of those companies and won. So shout out to Young Thug. He's out here winning. We're going to get into this article and read it from the hip hop, hot new hip hop, and see what went down here. All right, check this out. So Young Thug awarded $1.6 million in China knockoff lawsuit. All right, let's see what they're saying. Young Thug and his Spider brand secure a big win in court. Young Thug secures a big win after a three-year long RICO battle that landed him banished from Metro Atlanta and 15 years probation. Not too bad. Thug was awarded $1.6 million against 22 businesses, the majority in China, of course, for selling knockoff versions of his popular Spider clothing brand. Each business in the lawsuit is liable for $75,000 in payment. Information about the lawsuit is scarce outside of the ruling. The Spider clothing brand received huge popularity during Thug's RICO trial. The rap star frequently wore items from the brand that eventually went viral. Drake, Lil Baby, and Mariah the Scientist were among the many celebrities to support the clothing brand during the trial. Young Thug accepted a plea deal and pled guilty to the charges in October. We know this very well. All right, check this out. No Jumper posted the same information, and they say that now that Young Thug is a free man, fans are eagerly anticipating his next musical chapter. While no official announcement has been made, it's clear he's diving headfirst into creating new music. And we've seen little snippets here and there, things that Young Thug is allegedly working on. We've seen interactions between him and Lil Baby, him and Gunna, and a couple other people in the music industry. So we just have to wait and see at this point. Southside and Wheezy revealed that Thugger has been in the studio alongside Travis Scott, Lil Baby, and Future working tirelessly on collaborations according to them. The group has been relentlessly crafting tracks, channeling their collective talent into what promises to be some of the most exciting music this year. And I said this before, when Young Thug drops, which I wish he would have dropped something soon, but when he drops, I think this is going to be one of the biggest projects in recent history, just because of everything that's went on with the trial, because of all the artists that are going to want to collaborate with him on music, because of everything that's been going on, because he's been in the news so much, because there's still the YSL trial is still going on, and we're going to continue to talk about Young Thug. So this is the perfect time for him to release some music and even go on tour if he can. For Young Thug, these sessions mark a significant comeback, but the excitement extends to other artists as well. Lil Baby, for instance, has 2 highly anticipated albums slated for 2025, and I think Lil Baby is going to drop in January from what I'm hearing. As Young Thug reclaims his place in the spotlight, the anticipation for his return feels monumental. This moment is shaping up to be not just a celebration of his artistry, but a defining chapter for the entire trap scene. Fans are ready, and music can't come soon enough. So shout out to Young Thug for winning that lawsuit. And I saw actually a couple other companies that were knocking this off too, which I thought it was weird. And I've seen them on Instagram and a couple other places on X, but it seems like this is going to be going away pretty soon. I also wanted to check out this video over on TikTok, and this is from, hold on a second, let me pause it here. This is from Megan Cuniff. She is an amazing investigative reporter. She actually clipped this segment from when the Spider brand was mentioned in the YSL trial, or during the YSL trial.
Type or brand on that sweatshirt?
Yes.
What brand or type is that?
Spider brand.
And who owns Spider brand to your knowledge?
Jeff Williams.
Okay. And what color is that hooded Spider brand sweatshirt?
Blue with white words. And
then do you notice a jacket on top of the hooded sweatshirt?
yes.
And what color is that jacket?
Blue.
Do you notice pants being worn by Mr. Williams in number 9?
Yes.
And what brand is that?
Spider clothing brand.
Same owner of that brand?
Yes.
And what color?
Blue with white words.
And then the shoes. You see shoes?
Yes.
And do you know what type of shoes they are? And if you don't, that's fine. Yes or no?
No, I don't.
Okay. And the laces appear to be what color on the right foot?
Red.
And how about the left foot?
Blue.
Okay. I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams' number 10 that should be in front of you. I think I gave that to you. It might be underneath number 9.
No,
Shout out to Brian Still, y'all here in the
There's a
background.
blue on both of them. It look like that's the tongue.
Okay. It's the tongue is red.
Oh, yeah, I answer to the best of my ability.
That's fine. That's fine. Do you see Mr. Williams' number 10? It's maybe under number 9.
Yes.
You never seen that before?
Yes.
And there are 2 gentlemen in that picture. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recognize both of those gentlemen?
Yes.
And is that picture depicted in number 10 of Mr.
All right, so there it is. Brian Steele up there. And y'all know, I was trying to find the picture of Brian Steele wearing the Spider outfit. He had a whole tracksuit on. Let me see if I could find it. Yeah, this is from November. And this is actually an article by Hip Hop DX. Y'all can see. Let me see if I could find the actual picture. There's a far away picture of Brian Steele, but there's a better one floating around out here somewhere. And I'm going to see if I can find it. But anyway, y'all had Brian Steele rocking the Spider brand. I think this is a huge win for Thug, and it's going to be dope to see him bounce back after this long trial. Yeah, here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. You got Brian Steele. I mean, he was dripped out a couple of times. You got this one of Brian Steele. Look at Brian Steele dripped out in the Spider brand, man. And then you got a couple other ones here. Man, when you talk about attorneys, Brian Steele is the guy that you want in your corner. I mean, he was supporting Young Thug, willing to go to jail for him. Absolutely insane, man. I need to find and get a good link for this, because the brand is dope, and I would want to support too. Y'all see Brian Steele? Look at Adam dripped out, and I think Young Thug ended up posting this too. Absolutely fire, man. Shout out to Brian Steele, one of the greatest attorneys in the state. I mean, let's be real. He's a real one for sure. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in the comments. And I think I saw some more super chats up in here as well. Oh my goodness. Look at my Dr. EJ in here dropping the 50 bomb. Come on, man. Thank you, Dr. EJ. I appreciate you. He says, keep up the great work. And we just in here having a good time, man. Shout out to Dr. EJ. Major sponsor of today's show. And also, Les Cleaver is in here as well. Drops the 5 bomb and says, Merry Christmas, family. God bless you all. Blessings to you as well. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Les. And then my guy, Mr. Brown, with the 5 bomb says, if you had never did commentary on YSL, I would have never watched. Oh, man. Thank you, Mr. Brown. I'm glad to do it. You know, I almost didn't cover this. I thought I knew everything. I was like, nah, I don't want to cover the YSL trial. There's so many people covering it. I'm gonna let somebody else do it. And thank God for Henry Resilient. He said, man, if you don't get on this YSL coverage, you're missing out on an opportunity to continue to grow, to be able to give your commentary and thoughts on things, and just to be able to create awareness, especially since you're in Fulton County. And I was like, I said, all right, I'll do it. And hey, shout out to my guy, Henry Resilient. He's really the main reason and one of the biggest reasons for the growth on this channel. So shout out to Henry. Oh, look at Amy. This is why she's so good, man. Dropping the link to the spiderclothing.us. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Amy for dropping this in there. I'm gonna have to get the whole family spidered up so we can show some support. That spider is nice. We got the pink, got the regular spider. Oh, this one with Juice World, man. A lot of this one's out of stock too. I'm not surprised because that's the first one I would have got. Yeah, this is dope, man. Shout out to Amy for dropping the link in the chat. Appreciate you, Amy. Eileen Fisher says Fani might need to call Steele or Ashley Merchant. Sounds like she's going to need a good lawyer, as all the lawyers in the DA's office is so corrupt. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Do y'all think Ashley Merchant would she gave this? I mean, that's a conflict of interest, so I'm not even gonna ask that question. But you think Brian Steele would represent Fani Willis? That's a weird thing to even think about. Good morning, Leona. Good to see you in here. I would rock that hoodie. Love Move says you had some of the best coverage out here on the YSL. Thank you. And we're not done. We're not done either, because as y'all know, there are still a couple of defendants that have to get through this trial. It's going to be interesting to see how things go with Christian Eppinger, because that man is facing an uphill battle. And as we heard last week, the state isn't even calling any witnesses. Oh man. So it's going to be interesting to see what the rest of this YSL coverage has for us. So y'all make sure you stay tuned in. We've got 1,000 of y'all in here and 600 likes. Y'all please like the video. I'm going to unashamedly beg for likes because it's free and it takes 2 seconds. So can y'all like the video, please? as we get into our next topic, David says Steele might represent Willis, but he would never represent Love. Let's Go makes a good point. He says, look who he's representing now. He's representing a district attorney now. So, I mean, Brian Steele, he isn't afraid. He isn't afraid to do it. Representing Fani Willis, though, I think that would kind of be, I would be shocked about that one, but I know we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so here's the topic that you all have been waiting for. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is going to get messy. And I think this is going to be a very polarizing topic. So y'all hang in there with me. And obviously, let me know what you think. Let me see. Hold on a second. I did this the wrong way. Here we go. There we go. All right. So as a lot of you may know, recently Young Thug's jail calls or video calls specifically have been quote unquote leaked. Now, we're going to get into the whole legal side of things and them being private phone calls versus public phone calls. Was this right for them to be leaked? Who leaked them? Where are the videos at? We're going to get all into that in a second. But let's check out this article by Hip Hop DX and see what actually happened in some of these calls, because I'm not going to play a lot of it. I'm just probably going to play a couple of clips, but we'll get into that here in a second. I definitely want to know what y'all think about these calls being posted and released. Hip Hop DX says, Young Thug addresses the leaked jail calls with boxer Devin Haney's wife. Now, we're going to get into it, but this was not his wife at the time these phone calls took place. These phone calls took place back in 2022. And some of the other phone calls we're going to talk about took place even before that. But we'll get into it here in a second. Young Thug has cleared the air after footage leaked of him having an intimate conversation with Devin Haney's wife, Lena Sade. I probably said her name wrong, but it's all right. We're not talking about her. While he was in jail, the phone call, which dates back to July of 2022, 2 months after Thug was arrested on RICO charges, features the two of them having an emotional exchange that lasts around 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. At one point during the call, Thug tells Sade, who reportedly married Haney in 2023 and shared a child with the fighter, to move on and find love. Oh, that's tough. Indicating that they were romantically involved. The Instagram model then sobs and replies, "Why would you say that? I don't like anyone but you. I want you." Well, Thugger, who was also dating Mariah the Scientist at the time, becomes emotional himself and tells Sade that he doesn't want to burden her. After regaining her composure, Sade tells the Atlanta rapper that she loves him, adding, "Everyone knows this." Young Thug, who was recently released from jail after striking a plea deal in the YSL RICO case, addressed the leak on X, formerly known as Twitter, in a number of posts. He said, "Them ninjas don't show they hands. Them ninjas ain't in. Say, twin," he wrote. "Man, me and my twin was talking about some whole other serious ish. I don't know why she spoke on loving other people or anything else, cause ain't giving no F's about these." Give me a second. "I don't know why she spoke on loving other people or anything else, cause ain't giving no F's about no home garden tools, no ninjas. I'm the capital P. Laugh out loud. That's my twin and nothing else. Never have, never will. Laugh out loud." It seems like they were on two different pages, wouldn't y'all say? Yikes. The punk rapper then appeared to reference his relationship with Mariah. "I can have that little ish right now if I wanted it, but she been pushing the P harder than these ninjas. Laugh out loud. That's the twin. I got who I want." Okay, so shout out to Mariah. It's tough. Sade also reacted to the footage and claimed that It precedes her relationship with Haney, her now husband. The video was before I met my baby daddy. I would never talk to Thug or any other man. All right. And here's the tweets from Thug. This one specifically I thought was interesting, which I just read. He says, I can have that little ish right now. Oh my gosh. But she keep pushing the P harder than just. That's the twin. I got who I want. And then here's the post from Mrs. Sage. She says, that video was before I met my baby daddy. I would never talk to Thug or any other man. Okay, well. I don't know what that means, but we're going to let it go and move on. Young Thug was the victim of frequent leaks throughout his time behind bars. One notable leak was a conversation between him and Mariah the Scientist celebrating Christmas last year, which we're going to get into that one here shortly. And she says, okay, I'll read it, whatever. She says, what up, baby? Merry Christmas. She said on the call before blowing a kiss in Thug's direction, I love you. I miss you. I love you. Thanks for my gifts, she says. Thug returned the love and asked, them chains heavy? To which Mariah replied, they heavier than the bracelets for sure. I miss you. Thug added, I thought the Cubans would be bigger too. They 14, I think. Look at them showing love. Okay, they give the whole transcript. My goodness, I should just play the video. Let me see. Do I have? No, this is a different video. Let me see if I could find the video for y'all so you don't have to hear me reading it. We'll get into it here in a second. I like it a lot. I'm very appreciative. Thanks, babe. Mariah says, I miss you. Blah, blah, blah. They go on. Okay. Yeah. I'm not reading the rest of that. So this is not the first time something like this has happened, as mentioned by Hip Hop DX. But the issue that people are having with this is that these videos and these calls shouldn't been released in the first place, which I 1000% disagree with. All right. And it's pretty straightforward. These calls are public information, and I've got the act here that we can go over. In Georgia, inmate communications, including video and phone calls, are generally recorded and monitored by correctional facilities. These recordings are considered public records under Georgia's Open Records Act, OCGA 50-1870, which presumes that all public records are open for inspection and copying. However, certain exemptions may apply, allowing agencies to withhold specific records or information. For instance, the Georgia Department of Corrections notes that offender central office and institutional files, including inmate telephone system call information and emails, may be exempt from disclosure. Maybe. It seems like it's up to their discretion, right? It's important to note that while recordings are public, accessing them may require a formal request, which anyone can do. And certain information might be redacted to protect privacy or security concerns. So I don't see what the outrage is about this. People want to shoot the messenger, which is law and crime. And I don't see the big deal behind this. Law and crime, they got this. They thought people would find it interesting, and they posted it online, which they're totally able and allowed to do. So I don't get the outrage here. Maybe I'm missing something. Y'all have to let me know in the comments. Here's the initial conversation that they're talking about, and I'm just going to play a short segment of this over from Law and Crime so y'all can hear the conversation if you haven't heard it yet.
And I don't feel like that. I feel like
anybody can get access to them.
I don't know. It was just like I was around my sister and her man or whatever, and that was kind of like making me frustrated. And I'm like, damn, like I wish you were with me. Like, I don't know.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I was by myself. While she was booed up.
Were you? Were you?
Yeah. I was by myself on my birthday. She was with her nigga, and I was just...
She said what?
Yeah.
I'm happy you came down here.
I'll come again. What else? You said there's two things.
I can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts on this too.
The second thing was that I'm happy that you came, I can't believe you came down here.
I was like, I haven't spoken to you in a while, so I was like, you're gonna have to talk to me if I pull up here. Right? What's up?
You're beautiful.
Hmm?
I said you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Really
Oh, that's a nice moment between the two of them. This is also another call that was leaked. A lot of people aren't really talking about this one, but this is Young Thug talking. I'm not sure who this gentleman is. He has yet to be identified. Y'all probably know who it is. Talking about some of the things that are going on in jail, talking about people, relationships, and you can find all these over at the Law and Crime Trials.
Make sure when you leave out here, tell Ram, tell all them, tell them, hey, you gonna call it 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you got going?
Come on, man. I haven't seen you in a long time, man.
You got to send me in jail, bro. Like,
It's all good. What do you mean?
you get that weight right here, man.
Yeah, that's
And
all.
also, y'all know this is not Fulton County. He was not in Fulton County at this point. Do with that information what you will.
Man,
That's all. You been writing?
yeah, for sure. That's all in the can do.
How many songs you got now?
Somebody that I wrote in here?
Yeah, like how many you wrote in there?
Probably about
It's his manager.
8, 10.
I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like writing music. I be like, I like to go through the motions. I like to make my mind stronger to the point where
Yeah.
when I get out, I want to remember this instead of me japping this down and, you know what I'm saying, having it like I already figured out. I want to like go through the real like remembrance. Like I want to just sit in the house, dark, while we vibing the beats, and I just remember these moments instead of me
Right.
having these moments written down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't be trying to do too much like write music. So I just really write whenever I dream about something or I think about something, and it's like a spectacular dream, when it's like a great, when it's a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it's one of them type of dreams, when it's one of them, that's when I write. Other than that, like all this, I want to like refill it when I'm out of here.
Right.
He's just talking about writing and recording. And this was another one that was leaked. Y'all can see at the top left of this video, all visits are monitored and recorded. It is what it is at this point. We've got Maria and Young Thug. Now this one's a little bit more entertaining. Another video that was quote unquote leaked the other day, and she's talking about what's going on with Diddy and gets into some other stuff. Oh, hold on. Why is this so quiet? Let me unmute this. Here we go.
There's something in my eye. I don't know what though. Anyways, but yeah, the video of the P. Diddy and the Cassie thing, no, it's not just like a wrestle.
He beat her up?
He beat her up, for sure.
They're talking about Diddy.
It's like,
Look at Thug.
she walking down like this hallway in the hotel to the elevator, and she get over to the elevator. She press the button. It's like she like trying to put her shoes on and like rearrange the stuff, I guess, so she can hold it herself. And then they show him running down the hall like this with a towel on. Like he just got out the shower. Like maybe she tried to leave while he was in the shower or
Crazy.
something. I'm not laughing. It's not funny, but he like running like this. Mad. He mad. So he get over there to her. Meep, punch her right in the face. She fall out.
She
Hit
said,
the ground.
"Meep."
He kicking her, stomping her out.
God
All
damn.
type of shit.
Man.
He said,
Then he
"Oh,
grab
man."
her by her hair and her hoodie and drag her ass down the hallway back to the hotel room.
I'm gonna do that on hotel camera. He tough. That nigga tripping. You sure it's him?
But it happened in 2016, so it's like,
You sure it's him?
it's definitely him. For sure, him.
And then just to show y'all and give you a refresher, if you haven't seen this yet, shout out to Amy for sending this to me. This is the initial phone call that was leaked by Mariah and Young Thug that y'all may have seen before.
What's up, baby? Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too, P.
I miss you. And I love you.
I love you too, baby.
Thanks for my gifts.
Them chains heavy?
They heavier than the bracelets for sure. I miss you, baby.
I even thought the Cubans were bigger. I miss you too.
You thought what was bigger?
I said I thought the Cubans were bigger too.
Like thicker? Like
Yeah, like more. Yeah, they 14, I think.
I like it a lot. I'm very appreciative.
This
Thanks,
one
babe.
from last year.
You know.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
I wish that you could be at home with me and you could put it on me.
Oh Lord,
I miss you.
I didn't want to hear that.
You look beautiful with that shit on. You look like a rapper now.
That's what you want me to look like? Rapper. If I had to have a rap name, what would you pick it to be?
Why not?
I like that you called me Tiger Lily last night.
Yeah.
So again, I don't see the big deal. I'm gonna get a lot of smoke for this. It is what it is. I don't see the big deal in this. They were on the jail phone. Young Thug is a celebrity. He's popular. There's things that leak quote unquote about celebrities and popular people all the time. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't think there's anything wrong with it, especially something that was public record. Someone didn't access this or record them maliciously. This is all known, well known to be public. So what you say on here, you just have to know it could come out. And I even have this rule for myself. Anything I send to somebody, let me pick somebody in the chat. If I send something to Big Black and I say, hey, Big Black on Instagram, yo, what's up, man? I have to know that even though that's a private conversation, it could be leaked at some point. This is just the world that we live in. But in this case specifically, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see a big deal. I know y'all are going to, a lot of you are going to disagree with me in the comments in the chat. Let me know what you think. And coming up next, I got some smoke from one of these attorneys out here. It's crazy. Shout out to the super chats coming in. I'm going to read some of y'all's comments because I knew some of y'all are going to be heated. Like, oh, how could you play this? This is terrible. Oh, Young Thug's privacy. Stop it. Black Butterfly says only a person with the visit log would know the exact call and date to pull via the Freedom of Information Act. Fulton County is smelling fishy and stinky. Well, this did not take place in Fulton County. Could someone from Fulton County have gotten this video and published it? Sure. But who cares? Young Thug and Mariah weren't in a relationship at that point. If they were, they weren't in a, they clearly weren't in an exclusive relationship. And she could have easily known that Miss Sade was coming to visit. It's not a big deal. The worst things have happened to celebrities, in my opinion. What are y'all saying in here? Oh, y'all are going to be mad about this. I should open up the phone lines. Love Move says it's super hard to believe that the prison system has the data capacity to keep every call every inmate makes to release for public records. Yeah, right. I call BS. That's a good point. It is what it was. It is what it was never supposed to be. Celebrity visits are monitored and recorded. That's Mariah. Anton Bishop said law and crime still holding on to their biggest case. In any way their viewers are down. Clickbait. It's a content it's a YouTube channel. They're here to make content and post content. And guess what? People are still watching. Sadie says, to be fair, he was in jail. I agree 1000%. Charlie says he definitely has a type. Oh man. The human race is not very nice, is it? While they play, I don't know what it says. Lacey says, it's the woman being offended. For me, this was a private conversation and he was in jail. There are no private conversations in jail. Let's be real. Factual Lie said, really? Why are you playing this? How could you? This is a public conversation. Even though it's one-on-one, it's still public. It is what it is, man. Big Black says, bro, I'm not talking. Oh, okay. Y'all are talking about something else. Lacey says, now ClassE, when a normal person conversations are released, then you can say that. This was released for clout, period. It was released for content. If you want to say clout, that's fine. But again, it's totally legal. I don't think it's morally wrong because this conversation wasn't private. It wasn't like someone took their cell phones and recorded a phone call that they had that was private. It says at the freaking top of the screen, this call may be monitored and recorded. And we're going to get into it in a minute. Most attorneys tell their clients, and I'm sure Brian Steele did, hey, just so you know, whatever you say on these jail phone calls, not only is it probably going to come out, but people are listening to it. It's being recorded. Shut the fuck up. It's not. And it's tough because they're in jail and they want to talk to their people and have these conversations. And this is the only way you have to talk to them. But I mean, it is what it is. The World's End says, you deserve smoke for this. What is legal is not always morally right. How is this immoral? For them to talk on a jail video phone call that is being recorded and monitored, and for it to be posted. I don't see, somebody's going to have to tell me how this is, how that's morally wrong. You might not like it, but I don't think it's morally wrong. And even going back to this video here where they're talking about Christmas, most people were like, oh, this leaked phone call so sweet. Mariah and Young Thug, they're talking about Christmas. He sent her some chains. That's so nice. There was no outrage when this one leaked 11 months ago. Now that this phone call is coming out and it potentially causes some issues or puts Young Thug in maybe not the greatest light, everyone's upset. Come on, man. If he were up there and it was a phone call of him saying how great Mariah is and how much he loves her and it's the best thing to ever happen to him and such, nobody would care. But because y'all don't like the way it looks, it's like, oh, all of a sudden it's morally wrong. I don't think it's illegal, but I do understand the importance of the calls. Nothing about them would pertain to a criminal activities. So I don't know why make them public because it's good content. And we're talking about it right now. And most of y'all, and don't lie like y'all did when you said you were voting for Kamala. Because 50+% of y'all lied and voted for Trump. So I don't want to hear that. Most of y'all, if not all of you, are going to go and watch that video. So please miss me with that. I'm late, but all caught up. Thank you for being here, Miss Kim. Sean P says, we're the Yak calls or Shannon calls. Well, we're going to get to that in a minute. If you've been locked up before, you know, mofos get in trouble talking on the phone. We heard it during the YSL trial. They were on the phone talking about, oh yeah, they think we shot him up. Why are you doing this? They are private conversations in jail when you have a cell phone and your cell and there's no wiretap on it. The here knows what's up. When you in jail, you are property of the state, period. It's embarrassing for him, Mariah, and her. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see how this is embarrassing. You think they're embarrassed? I'm honestly surprised Young Thug spoke on it. Bro, there are rules in written, but stop posting people's business and making it public and content is wrong. Wait till it comes to you, sir. I understand. Demon, I understand that if I'm in jail and I'm on a recorded line, that's public information. Now, if we were talking about my personal cell phone and somehow someone got access to my phone and leaked truly private conversations, then fine. But these aren't private conversations. They're public. Just by law. I just read you the law. And again, we've got so many amazing attorneys in here. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But the Georgia's Open Records Act says 1870 that these are public. So it's not going to come to me because I'm not going to be talking on a jail phone like this. And if I do, I'm going to understand that it's public. I don't know how we're missing this. The Honorable Attorney Kel Bell says, I'm with you, Classy Beats. They know it's recorded. They know he is a public figure. I would expect the call to be released if I talked with him. Come on, Kel Bell. Like, it's not that complicated. And again, if this were a call to where he's talking about, oh, I miss my puppies and my dogs, people would say, oh, you hear that? This is so nice. That was so dope of Law and Crime to post that. Young Thug talking about he loves his puppies. Way to go, Law and Crime. Now we're out here trying to crucify Law and Crime for no reason. Come on, man. Just Here to Learn says they were clearly parting ways and now she moved on and is in a new relationship. I think he meant to say otherwise, apparently happy relationship. Yep. He said, you just made Dr. Pepper come out my nose. Beautiful Messy Ball says, let's be real. His name is Young Thug. His name alone doesn't paint himself in the best light. Ooh. Truly humble under God is what it means, by the way, we know. I'd say Mariah is embarrassed. Like Thug said, Thug's already said, you saw Dennis Byron get in trouble for posting the picture of him wearing an I Love Mariah hoodie. And he said, I'm with who I want to be with. There's nothing to talk about. Antoine Bishop says, why hasn't the Law and Crime said anything about Yak and now playing him? I haven't seen any coverage for him being a YouTube channel with content. He's still in jail and not guilty. Well, there hasn't been much to cover. And they really don't. The Law and Crime Trials YouTube channel, they don't post videos like I do, like a content creator videos. They post clips and they do the live streams on Law and Crime Trials. And that's where these leaked videos or these leaked phone calls came from. So that's why it's on that channel. Amy says, please make sure to like the video. Yes, please. The World's End says, we have different opinions on this. I just don't see the public interest in this. We move on. Oh, yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you the World's End. I'll show you exactly why. And it's good to have differing opinions. I'm not trying to say I'm right or y'all are right or you're wrong on this one. But I'll show you exactly what the, as you put it, the public interest is. Here we go. This first one. This first video, woman tells, what's it called? Woman tells Young Thug, I want you, an emotional jail call. This was posted 19 hours ago. 25,000 views. And I'm sure it's still going. Brooklyn says, I'm wrong. How am I wrong, Brooklyn? And look at all the comments. We even had Thugger Daily over there. Was like, this feels like an invasion of privacy. I love Thugger Daily, but come on, man. It's not, it's a public phone call. Comments. So the World's End, there's your public interest. On the second video, this one isn't even that crazy. How many views did they get on this? 15,000 views. So, I mean, the public's interested. Brooklyn says, I'm wrong. Y'all let me know how I'm wrong. Shout out to Texas Rose for the 5-bomb. Said he's a celebrity. The world wants to know his business. It's that simple. Sea Travel says, think about the call with this guy. If I was on Thug's team, leak that call to build anticipation for upcoming songs. They don't want to talk about that, Sea Travel. And I mentioned it. Law and Crime and Young Thug have benefited from this coverage. And we're going to get into the attorney I have some smoke for here in a second. But I'm loving hearing y'all's comments and thoughts on this. Anton said you just made my point. Clickbait. No, well, I guess it is clickbait because it's getting you to click on it. But in generally clickbait is used in reference to you're just posting something and making it look like it's one thing, but what you're actually posting is another. That's usually what people say when they're using clickbait, but it can also be used in a way to say they're posting this just to get people to click on the video and watch it. So I get what you're saying there. It can go either way. Truly humble under God. That's right. Love Move says, Brooklyn, yeah, why not show the inmates in the shower? I understand calls available to lawyers, but to the public is ridiculous. Oh, well, then y'all are upset with the law. If you're saying you're upset with the law, then that's fine. I mean, then do what you need to do to change it. But getting upset with law and crime for posting this content, I think is super lame. What are they going to release? The shower clips? Beautiful Messy Ball says, when you make a jail call, there's a recorded message saying your call is recorded. And Texas Rose makes a great point and says all they have to do is filter by PIN number to find the calls. There is no expectation of privacy in jail, period. Let me see what else y'all are saying. AFIT says there's no privacy in jail except with your attorney. They knew the calls were recorded. Whether or not they expected them to be reviewed or released is a different matter. And are we that naive at this point that everything is not going to be leaked? Clickbait posting for clicks, no information or commentary. It is information. We get to find out what was going on behind the scenes. Come on now, content creators don't have morals. I don't know why we look to them for it. They just want a check. Hey, the check is nice. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I highly doubt law and crime would be doing this for free. Let's be real. So it is what it is. And I don't think that should be shamed. It's a content creator. It's entertainment. At the end of the day, if it weren't entertaining or if people weren't interested in it, there would be no law and crime. There would be no ClassE Beats YouTube channel. So yeah, rolling up. I don't think it's, I think saying a blanket statement of content creators don't have morals, I think is a little bit harsh, but there are pluses and minuses to both. That's like saying, I don't want to use that comparison. I don't want to use that comparison because that's going to go a different way, but it's literally their job to get people to watch their videos. So it is what it is. Clickbait, just posting for clicks, no information, no commentary. He was crying on that call. There's no privacy in jail except with your attorney. Somebody, I'm not reading that one. ClassE, did you see Weinstein's video about this? We're going to get into it in a second, Lacey. Hold on. Yeah, I got some smoke for Doug Weinstein today. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to have any friends, man. I'm not going to have any friends in this YouTube streets after this one. Asking for privacy in jail is like taking a shower in a glass house. Oh, man. I agree with Love Moves. This is an open discussion where those of us being skeptical are allowed to speak. Oh, yeah, for sure. I love differing opinions. There's a whole channel dedicated to leaking jail phone calls, but everyone is upset about Thug's calls being leaked. What? Yeah, we're going to get into the double standard here in a second. I hate that it came to this. But we're going to talk about Doug in here in a second. I got some smoke for Doug. Mr. The Honorable Doug Weinstein. Rose says it's the truth. People only want clicks and views, no matter who it bothers or invades. Not everybody's that way. Nothing differing than TMZ running up on people's exclusives. I don't agree. That people only want clicks and views. I think you can want clicks and views, and you can also have a true and honest platform. There are a lot of platforms like that out there. I'd like to think this is one. Calling content creators unethical, but not going at the state for this is nonsense and insane. I have that feeling. This is to ruin his relationship with Mariah. I believe the state is behind it. Yes, and Lacey's right. This is Cobb County, not Fulton. But someone from Fulton could have had this released. So, I mean, it could go either way. And like someone else was saying, I wish I could remember it. It could have been Young Thug's camp that released this. So it could build anticipation for his upcoming album, keep his name in the news. Like, we don't know. We don't know. Unless Cleaver says you're entitled to your views all, but bottom line, in jail, you have very little, if any, privacy. And why aren't y'all holding Young Thug accountable? Who is that? The World's End, Love's Moves, Roll One Up. Why aren't y'all holding Young Thug accountable in this case and say, bro, why were you talking to this girl on the phone like that, knowing this was recorded? Y'all want to shoot the messenger and say, oh, content creators, terrible. Don't shoot the messenger, man. Rolling up. They just posted the video that was already out there available to the public. And you want to say content creators have no morals? I don't think that's fair at all. And but to be honest, I mean, it is what it is. ClassE has met this issue head on. It's the same for all jail conversations. That's why we're discussing this. Yeah. Slim Life says there's haters everywhere. That doesn't exclude someone famous. It actually makes it worse. And Mr. Vegas said what I was just saying. These people are tripping. Thugs, stay your ass off the phone. Big Black says, ClassE, I agree with you, except for your view on Judge Joe Brown. He told the truth. Yeah, Rolling Up's laughing out loud. Listen, y'all talk to this man right here. This dude was on the phone having the conversation. Yeah, I love move. I know y'all aren't taking shots at me. It's fine. And even if you do, it's okay. Charlie says, okay, while calls are being leaked, find that man's jewelry. Nobody's talking about that, huh? Mm-hmm. Benjamin Ward said, you are right. My mom said, be careful. The same glass you drink out of will choke you with the same phone he made that call on is choking him now. Oh my goodness. My point isn't about thugs convos. It's about people wanting to make money off of people's personal convos. I don't care what the convo is about, but I feel you. Create your content. Making money off of define personal. Rolling up. Because usually something that's personal, you would keep it to yourself. Right? And if y'all want to talk about, again, someone getting someone's information maliciously or through illegal ways, then that's a whole nother conversation. That's not this conversation. Because yes, this could be personal to Young Thug, maybe, but this is all public. I mean, he might as well be having this conversation on the stage in front of how many? 25,000 people. Mr. Vegas says people making money off death every day. So how, I don't know, man. Sadie says it has to be new subscribers that's being judgmental because we as a group discuss coverage on Thug, whether it's good or bad. Lacey says, I guess it's because of law and crime. For me, if it was you releasing them, it'd be different in my mind, and law and crime is grimy. But all right, we're going to get into that in a second. But, oh man. So when giant media companies do it, it's okay. But when content creators do it, it's bad. That pretty girl says, ClassE, I've made a phone call and a letter to someone incredibly familiar with Fulton County District Attorney's Office. He is the commander in chief elect concerning a very sensitive matter. Oh, good luck with that. Nothing personal anymore. Everything's tracked, recorded, etc. Any conversation can be obtained at any time. Jail calls are clearly at the top of the list. I mean, all visits are monitored and recording. So at the point when you pick up that phone, this is not personal. Come on, man. Meaning people making profit off of any and everything on here and big media. Why are we all of a sudden mad at people for this? They're not mad because they're watching it, Mr. Vegas. You know what they're doing? They're over here. Eating their popcorn. This is terrible. And watching it at the same time. So I don't mean who's wrong here. And this goes into an even deeper conversation is we're not going to go there. I agree with you 100%. When my brother calls me from the state, we know that anything that we talk about is then considered public records. Folks need to cut this sensitive crap. Moving like J-word media is they aren't mad. They're not really mad. It's just selective outrage, which we're going to get into in a second. All right. Thank y'all for liking the video. Over 1,500 of you in here and 1,100 of you have liked the video so far. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Likes are free and they really do help out the channel to grow. And thank you to everyone who's sending the super chats too. I want to open up the phone lines, but oh man, I know it's going to get wild in here. Maybe if we have, I don't know if we're going to have time. Lacey Ann says, y'all think Yak's calls are next? Ooh, we're going to get into that. Let me go ahead and get Mr. Weinstein up here. I've got some smoke for Doug Weinstein. This is, thank you, Big Black. I appreciate it. Big Black says, great content, ClassE. I appreciate it. Love Move says, I admit I am selectively outraged. Hey, shout out to you for admitting it. Admitting your bias and admitting your selective outrage is fine. I don't have a problem with it. But what we're going to get into here in a second, to me, was not necessarily surprising, but disappointing. And let's go ahead and talk about Mr. Doug, Mr. the Honorable Attorney Doug Weinstein. Yeah, I hear you, Mal. Beauty, I'm with you there. Oh, Freddie Harris is back in the building. Says, what's funny is everybody's opinion's almost right. Man, the things we make go viral. Yeah, I mean, you have the power if you just didn't watch. But people are like, oh, that's terrible. Look at that. Will you look at that? Let me send this to my mom and like 20 other people. Did you see this? This is horrible. I can't believe they posted it. Oh. I don't blame the media. It's Fulton County and Thug's fault. Yeah, so I guess we just have to blame the worst of this, worst of society for promoting this kind of stuff. Actually, let me do this real quick. We're gonna have a very, very short intermission, and then I'm gonna give my smoke, the smoke I have for the Honorable Doug Weinstein up in here in a second. All right, give me 1 second, y'all.
When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what the day is. But it's exactly what you make it. So please don't go wasting. And I'll do the same, even if it's raining. How could I complain? And my feels got me feeling some type of way. You today.
All right, there it is. Shout out to Keely in the building. If y'all want to link to that song, it is in the description. Y'all can go check her out. All right, here we go.
So I have some thought.
Hold on, Doug. We're going to get to Dougie Fresh here in a minute. Shout out to Doug Weinstein. 1-0, by the way, in criminal trials. Shout out to Doug Weinstein. But I got some smoke for our guy, Doug, here. I want to read a couple more of y'all comments before we get into it. Andrew Williams says, maybe that's how Doug felt in 2022. Sitting in jail for almost 3 years, he realized who and what was important. I'm not quite sure these are women that came to see Thug, but Mariah, it is. What's funny is everybody. Oh, okay. I already read that one. Freddie Harris, I see you in there. The World's End says, I've had these ethical issues in a former prison as a worker where leaks were paid to drop inmate details and expose inmates. Oh my gosh. It drove me mad. Maybe that's what's triggering me. Yeah, The World's End, and that's understandable. That type of thing just seems egregious to me and shouldn't be allowed, and is just wrong. And I'm sure in some sense it's illegal, but this public information, I don't know. Roman Up says, I just refuse to give the state the benefit of the doubt when all they've done is try to release videos to taint the public image of people. Interrogations and jail phone calls, a dirty game. Well, I would remove jail phone calls because those are public. And being mad at Doug for wanting to protect his client is crazy, but entertaining. Who's mad at Doug for protecting his client? What are you saying, Roman Up? Is somebody's mad at Doug for wanting to protect his client? Who are you talking about, Ro? Let's see. Love the song #1 on my gym playlist. Yeah, I have it on my playlist too. It's great. Shannon's videos coming next. Laugh out loud. It only shows who's miserable and bitter through the Christmas holidays. Some people are just sore losers. Leave these guys alone. Let them live. That is a great point. And again, I mean, it's making for content. Oh, Lacey said, get the Zoom wedding. Oh, man. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Yeah, Doug Weinstein, he is very entertaining. All right, let's go ahead and get into it here. Yeah. I know. So, Doug Weinstein is how shall I say it? Pissed. He is so upset, so angry with what's been going on. And give me 1 second. Hold on. All right, here we go. Doug Weinstein is pissed, upset, and angry at what's been going on with this whole situation with Law and Crime and them posting these quote unquote leaked jail calls between Young Thug and Mariah and Young Thug and another gentleman. And we're going to get into it and hear why he's so upset and what his issues are. And then I'm going to give a response to that. Here we go.
Thoughts. Let's talk about that conversation, that private conversation that Jeffrey Williams had when he was locked up in Cobb County, or multiple private conversations. When you are locked up in jail these days, ever since COVID, you are not having personal visits with people. They got rid of all that stuff. How do you visit with folks from the jail? You do it either by regular phone or by video conference. That's it. Those are your options. You have no choice. You are not willingly giving up your rights to privacy. And so for people that are posting videos, however they got them, that's a whole nother issue, who are posting videos of the private conversations of Jeffrey Williams while he is on pretrial detention, that is low. That is just about as low as you can go. And I'm not going to watch them. You should not watch them. And I have another message for Law and Crime. While I have not been retained for this, if you guys try any of this crap with Diamante Kendrick, I am going to go to him and tell him to use my close to 3 decades of experience in civil litigation.
Dang.
At all levels in federal courts all across this country. And we will pursue, I would suggest to him that we should pursue all remedies. So you did this against Jeffrey Williams, you did this against Young Thug. Please do not try this against Diamante Kendrick. I realize he may not get you as many clicks, and that's what it's all about, right? Because you guys are desperate right now. But don't try this crap, okay? And you should all be ashamed of yourselves, and I am embarrassed to have cooperated with you guys in the past.
Dang, Doug is not playing around. He said, you better not come at my client. And shout out to Doug for that. I respect it. Well, I guess it's technically not his client, but either way, he said he's going to represent Yak Gotti pro bono on this one. Couple things I want to say to this. And Doug Weinstein, excellent job throughout this trial. But you're wrong on this one. I'm not saying you're wrong in the way you feel. I'm saying you're wrong in the facts. So let's go through the video and break it down.
So I have some thoughts. Let's talk about that conversation, that private conversation.
Where he's wrong, number one. This is not a private conversation. It is not. This call is being monitored and recorded. This call is being monitored and recorded. This call is being monitored and recorded. It's not a private conversation. You can say one-on-one conversation. You can say face-to-face. You can say maybe even personal, like they talked about before. This is not a private conversation. They are allowed to not only record this, but we're allowed as the public to be able to see it, to be able to look it up. It's not that complicated.
Williams had when he was locked up in Cobb County, or multiple private conversations. When you are
It's not private.
Locked up in jail these days, ever since COVID, you are not having personal visits with people. They got rid of all that stuff. How do you visit with folks from the jail? You do it either by regular phone or by video conference. That's it. Those are your options. You have.
Again, that's part of being in jail. You don't really get a lot of options. Oh, man. So again, Doug, I get what you're saying. It stinks that it's this way. If y'all want to talk about the laws, fine. But here we're talking about Law and Crime, the Law and Crime YouTube channel. And why they're taking so much heat for this, I will never know.
No choice. You are not willingly giving up your rights to privacy. And so
he said you're not willingly giving them up, but you are giving them up. And I would love to see him fight this. I'm not an attorney. I don't know what direction he would take here, but it seems pretty straightforward to me for Law and Crime to get access to these calls.
For people that are posting videos, however they got them, that's a whole nother issue, who are posting videos of the private conversations of Jeffrey Williams while he is on pretrial detention, that is low. That is just about as low as you can go. And I'm not going to watch them. You should not watch them. And
I don't know that anybody shouldn't watch them. Is it low? I personally would not post these type of videos on my channel just because I'm really here to have the conversation, the back and forth with you guys, report on the news. And yes, that's news. But to be honest, I really don't care about Young Thug and his conversation between somebody else's wife. I mean, it's, I guess you could call it gossip at that point, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm more interested in not only the legal side of things, but the issue of the content creation in general. And in this case, if you want to call it low, I don't know, but it is interesting and it is information that's readily available to the public. So I don't think you can knock it because someone wants to post it on their YouTube channel.
I have another message for Law and Crime. While I have not been retained for this, if you guys try any of this crap with Diamante Kendrick, I am going to go to him and tell him to use my close to 3 decades of experience in civil litigation at all levels in federal courts all across this country. And we will pursue, I would suggest to him that we should pursue all remedies. So you did this against Jeffrey Williams, you did this against Young Thug. Please do not try this against Diamante Kendrick. I realize he may not get you as many clicks, and that's what it's all about, right? Because you guys are desperate right now.
God, he called him desperate.
Don't try this crap, okay? And you should all be ashamed of yourselves, and I am embarrassed to have cooperated with you guys in the past.
All right, so here's where I have an even bigger problem with Doug. Again, you're shooting the messenger. If you have a problem with these being released, then go to Cobb County or Fulton County or wherever this took place. But having an issue with Law and Crime obtaining something that's readily available to anybody who requests it and then posting it on their YouTube channel, and then you saying, oh, I can't believe you guys posted this publicly readily available information. I think that is wrong. It's not fair to Law and Crime, and it's not fair to the work that they've done throughout this trial to continue to bring awareness to what's been going on inside this YSL trial. And yes, have they benefited from it? Absolutely. Have they been the #1 place for people to watch this trial and see the work that Doug Weinstein put in, to see the work that Brian Steele put in, to see how the state was reacting? Absolutely. So for Doug to say, oh, well, I regret everything that I did and how I worked with you guys. Like, come on, man. I think that's being a little bit too sensitive. I don't know why he's taking this so personally and he wants to throw away everything that Law Crime has done for him and his client. Y'all cannot take that away because they decided to post something that was readily available. I think it's shallow. I think it's entitled. And I think Doug should be ashamed of how he's reacting to this in the public eye, especially after everything Law and Crime has done. Have y'all ever been in a relationship or known somebody who you did all of these things for them, you helped them out, you were there for them when they called, and then the one time you don't answer a text or the one time you don't show up, then they're like, oh, you were the worst person. I knew you hated me. All those things that you did, was just throw them away. I wish we had never met. They were horrible. That's when I feel like Doug Weinstein, the route that he's going down. Personally, even on this channel, so much of you have been able to watch this coverage and see what was going on because of the consistent work that Law and Crime has been putting in the courtroom, on YouTube, posting clips, even on their other channels. And for Doug Weinstein to take this stance, I think he should be, I don't want to use as strong of a word as he did, ashamed, but I think he should really rethink how he's addressing Law and Crime in this instance for just doing something that's their job and it wasn't malicious. Let's see what Doug Weinstein said on this over on X. He said, I'm not going to watch any of these videos of Young Thug and neither should you. There are no in-person visits anymore, so folks going to use video visits. Have some respect and decency and give these folks their privacy. Nope. You don't get that when you're in jail. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm just a regular person who looked up what was the law? OCGA 5/1870. Law and Crime is in the gutter. They should be ashamed of themselves. I regret any cooperation with it and encourage other professionals to avoid communication with that bunch. Wow. Just because they reposted a public video? This is like, this is hard for me to see. And I think it's unfortunate from Doug Weinstein. He tagged Kathy Russin over at Law and Crime. And I hope Law and Crime, y'all stand 10 toes down. Do not remove that video because they're doing their job to put out content that people find interesting. And it's interesting, a public phone call between Young Thug and Mariah and Young Thug and that other dude. And then Doug Weinstein goes on to say this, like he said in this video. And let me say another thing. If Law and Crime tries this with Mr. Kendrick, I will advise him to utilize my 25 years of civil litigation experience to the fullest extent. Pro bono. Oh my God. If you mess with Diamante Kendrick, you are messing with me. Now it's funny. I saw a comment. Somebody said, oh, so were you going to represent him pro bono in the YSL trial? This is where things start to get messy. But I think Doug is absolutely 1000% wrong on this. He's allowed to have his opinion and thoughts, but threatening someone who is really just the messenger for something that they can get, and anybody who's watching this live stream or commenting in this chat can get, I don't think it's fair. Because if you're going to do this and you're going to say this because you don't like the way it looks, are we going to say that for the other side? The state doesn't like how something looks. Miss Love didn't like how things looked during the YSL trial when she was being recorded. And people were showing her in a certain way. They didn't like that. People were zooming in on their laptops, zooming in on their text messages, watching their conversations, how they were interacting. I mean, where are we going to draw the line here? And last thing about Doug Weinstein, then I'm going to let him go. Nosy Rand over on X says, Dear all lawyers, please make one of your first order of businesses with clients be that they are informed to never speak over jailhouse calls because God dang. Doug Weinstein says, it's the first and last thing I say to my clients every single visit. Almost none of them listen. I figured it must be hard. So they're not victims, Doug. There are certain rules. You know the rules, and they decide, you know what? I know this is recorded, but I want to talk to this girl, get things done and over with. It is what it is at the end of the day. You can't continue. You can't play the victim in this instance when you're known and well aware of what can happen here. So y'all let me know what you think. I know I'm going to get killed for this take, but I think Doug, he way overreacted. Law and Crime is just doing their job in creating and posting content that people find interesting. And this wasn't illegal. And in my opinion, it wasn't immoral either. What do y'all think? Whoo, I know I'm going to get cooked in the comments, man. Shout out to y'all. It's all right, though. Floyd up in here. Shout out to Floyd with the 50 bomb. Says, thank you for all the great coverage. Merry Christmas. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for that. Roll One Up says, it's not about the video being available. It's about Law and Crime being broke now since the trial is over. So they're trying to make some money off of bro. What? Black Butterfly says, I rock with you, ClassE, but you're wrong. Okay, we're going to do this. I got to open the phone lines. Y'all are saying I'm wrong. I want anybody who thinks I'm wrong to call in. And the link to call in is in the description, and I'll also pin it in the chat. I want to hear what y'all have to say and how you think I'm wrong in this instance. We got to talk about it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pin this. All right. The number is pinned in the chat if y'all want to call in. Rolling Up says, oh, okay. Okay. Black Butterfly says, I rock with you, ClassE, but you're wrong. It's not a Fed case, is why he's talking about that goalpost movers. Yeah, it's not a, I don't know what we're talking about. Federal case. The World's End says it's done and out there. I just worry it's a thin edge of the wedge of bad actors. We wouldn't have had much of the content from court without law and crime. I just don't get why you'd ask. Yep, exactly. Minnie Perkins says, not too much on Doug. I'm coming for you. I love you, my brother. Okay. Yeah, we don't all have to agree. It's fine. I think it's good when we disagree. Rolling Up says, our Love Moves says, it would be hard for me to think that Fulton County. Oh, okay, y'all are talking about Kayla in here. Shout out to Kayla. Mall Beauty says, is it really easily obtainable to the public? I request records for my career. I've never seen the option to request jail calls. Just curious. Here we go. We got our first caller. Oh man, I'm about to get all the smoke.
Les Cleaver.
To accept, press 1.
All right, my guy Les Cleaver is in the building. Good morning, Les. And Merry Christmas
morning.
Eve.
How are you and Amy and everybody? Oh, I know everybody's doing great.
We're doing good, brother. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind? Do you have some smoke for me today?
Well, boy, I love the content today. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I understand the views that are out there are mixed and they're torn and they've got their own opinions, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, myself, I like Doug Weinstein. He may not always say the right things, but you know, he's got a good relationship with Yak. And yeah, it's good to see that he would actually work for him pro bono. That's great. It's just, wow. You are unloading a lot of content. What can I say? I mean, and just from personal experience here, from calling into jails and so on and so forth, yeah, there is no privacy. And to be honest with you, the prosecution is looking for you to slip up so they can use it against you in court. We've seen that in the YSL trial.
We've seen it, man. Yes.
We've seen it. And the thing is that whether conversations are leaked or not, it's public. You're right. I have to agree with you. It is public. Now, on your cell phone, that's private.
Yes.
But hacking into a cell phone, well, then, yeah, I'd like to hunt them down and prosecute them. But, I mean, where do you go? What do you do? I mean, it's...
You don't pick up the phone and make the phone call, Les.
Well, this is true.
It's not that complicated. Doug himself said, hey, I tell my clients, listen, stop talking on the phone. Don't talk on the phone. And shout out to 636. I will call you back in a second. But just don't talk on the phone. And I know, as Doug said himself, it's hard. I can't imagine being in jail and not wanting to have these quote unquote personal, quote unquote private phone calls. But if you understand, especially being Young Thug, I mean, he's the top of the top when it comes to artists. You know that this is being recorded and that it could be released. It's not that it's just, I don't see it's complicated.
Yeah, well, and to be honest with you, even what we did witness, there wasn't any sensitive content in there. Not really. I mean,
it was just, it was just them having a regular conversation.
Right. And yes, I agree. I mean, people I've talked to who are sitting in jail, plain and simple, they tell you it's, you know, recorded conversation. And I always say, don't say anything that you want recorded. Don't say anything that you're going to implicate yourself on. Let's just talk about other things other than this.
Right, exactly.
And see, the thing is, a lot of people also understand the same thing happens when you write letters. The jail staff read everything that comes in and out. So that's, jail, you lose your freedoms, period, bottom line. But listen, I'm going to go and let you go. There are other callers that want to come in. Merry Christmas to you and Amy and everybody in the chat.
Thank
love
you, Les.
You guys have been great. I mean, I'll try to get in tonight for the song of the night.
Yes, sir.
I missed it on Monday. But anyways, you all have a great one. Merry Christmas and God bless you all.
Same to you, Les. Merry Christmas and God bless you. And we love and appreciate you too, my friend. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
All right. Peace, Les. All right. Y'all give it up to Les Cleaver in here. He didn't have no smoke. I knew Les agreed. I knew Les was on my side. I need to call 636 back. Let me see. Where is 636 called in? Oh no, where did it go? Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. And I mean, Les is, you know what the deal is. You know what the deal is. And then Row One Up is still trying to shoot the messengers in here. Oh my gosh, Row. Says ClassE, yeah, except that people are thirsty and want to hear about personal business and nothing case related. Folks nosy. It's shade room-ish. But Row One Up, you can't have it both ways. You can't. Hold on a second. Let me get this phone call.
Call from
Black Butterfly.
Here we go. We got Black Butterfly in the building. I'm gonna get to Row One Up in a second. Black Butterfly, thank you for calling in. I know you got some smoke. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you
You know
get,
I got smoke. I
I'm
put
gonna let
it
you
in
get it
there.
off.
You know I rock with you. ClassE, I rock with you. You know I do.
Go
I
ahead.
don't agree. I respectfully disagree.
Mhm.
I'm not, let me say why. Sorry, I gotta shut my door. I got a grandkid. The reason I disagree is that one is timing. And I think you got to look at it a little bit deeper than just, oh, it's the freedom of information. We know that. We know it's freedom of information. But it's the fact that they keep targeting him and his family. And it's like, it's just like it's a passive aggressive way of harassment. So it's not just, oh, it's freedom of information. We know that, but it's the passive aggressive. Some ways, as we all saw, are aggressive. But now I can't attack you aggressively, so I'm gonna get you passive aggressive. Like enough is enough, and you did that right at Christmas time, and it's like even with the thing with Yak. Oh yeah, he had these things, you knew it, but this is a passive aggressive way to keep messing with these people. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that you're looking at it as deep as what it is. It's not that it's freedom of information. It's the passive aggressive harassment and attacks on these people.
Yeah. So Black Butterfly, I 1000% agree with you. But here's my issue. My issue is what Doug Weinstein said about Law and Crime. Now, if you want to say that, okay, it's wrong that this is being put out there, then fine. If you want to say that and you want to say it's being used as a tactic to attack Doug, that's fine. But attacking Law and Crime is the thing that I have an issue with. Law and Crime is just the middleman. This wasn't posted on the Fulton County DA's YouTube channel. This was posted on the channel that has been covering this trial for 3+ years. So to say that, oh, don't mess with Law and Crime, unsubscribe right now. They are absolutely horrible, and I can't believe they posted this. You're having selective outrage. And if I guarantee you, if this were a leaked phone call of Miss Love talking to Fani Willis and saying, oh, yeah, we're going to get Young Thug. And I talked to Woody the other day in the car, and he's about to come in here and destroy this man. We're going to win this case. Everyone would be like, yeah, let's go. We got her.
Yep. Justice. That's totally different. And the thing, but Law and Crime is the facilitator. They're the catalyst. They're the ones that, okay, fine. They're not the one who made the tape. They're not the ones who went and dug it up. But they are the catalyst. They are the ones that are igniting it. That's why I have a problem with Law and Crime. Will I watch them again? I hope that some independent media covers part 2. And I would just rather just. Yeah, I will watch it, but I hope that independent it comes somebody. Well, we know Miss Sylvia and Dennis. I don't know if they're gonna get it wrong again, but I just hope somebody, because my thing is that that's how I feel, and I understand yours, and I just, like I said, I rock with you. I watch you. If I don't catch you on a regular when you're showing, I always watch your replay. So I love you. I love you. I love you. I just don't agree with you this time.
I appreciate you, Black Butterfly. Thank you for calling in. You can call in anytime. And I love having the respectful conversation. We're allowed to disagree. I think it makes for a great interaction, and it helps us to understand people a lot better too. So thank you for that.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Yes. Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye. Yeah, and that's fine. If y'all want to say this is a tactic being used by whoever, fine. But Law and Crime is they're just doing their job. They didn't obtain this maliciously. They posted it for the people to see and get their own opinion and thoughts on it. And I think most people are coming to Thug's defense, and they're not just They're not saying, Thug, shame on you. How could you do this? People know this is the internet. People are going to know this happened in 2022. Mariah knew about the phone call. Mariah knew Thug was talking to this other chick who came and visited him at the jail. I mean, come on. It's content. Plain and simple. Let me call Mr. Brown up in here. Hold on a second. We got 7732 in the building.
Beautiful Messy Ball.
Beautiful Messy Ball is in the building. Good morning, Beautiful Messy Ball. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning. I want to respectfully disagree with the last caller saying that law and crime is the catalyst, because if law and crime hadn't FOIA'd these phone calls, somebody on YouTube would have. I follow a lot of trials and a lot of true crime, and there are much smaller YouTube channels that spend thousands and thousands of dollars to FOIA phone calls and court records and legal documents, like the docket, Pretty Lies and Alibis, Plunder, that get all the documents before things go to trial, during trial, after trial. So even if law and crime hadn't done it, somebody else following this case would have done it.
For sure.
It's just a matter of it takes more time for the smaller guys to raise the money to FOIA the information, because it costs money for the courts to, or not the courts, but the jail and the courts to compile and not censor, redact what needs to be redacted from information.
Correct. Yes. So, and I mean, in law and crime, I mean, they have the platform, right? So I think that's the biggest issue of what you're saying, is that because law and crime's this bigger platform, maybe they should have a certain level of standard of content that they post, right? Maybe not. But these are calls that took place while Young Thug was in jail. They've been covering Young Thug. Why wouldn't they post it? I mean, just from a content creation standpoint, I don't see why they would post it. And above all that, why try and cancel them? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, exactly.
I don't see why they wouldn't post it. I mean, if you look at, I know you don't cover true crime in general, but the Alec Murdaugh case, for example, was a big case in South Carolina. And there was another podcaster who got all of his phone calls long before any of the major networks, because she was working for a small independent media, and she was on the case before mainstream media had picked up on it. And she was FOIAing all of his phone calls, and it took her a lot of time and money to get those phone calls and documents when he was in jail, before the mainstream media had even really picked up on that case. And then it went huge and everybody was getting them. So it's to hold law and crime accountable and just say, oh, we're going to boycott law and crime, when somebody would have done it. It's the law. If you don't like the law, write your legislators and try to get the law changed, which is unlikely to happen. But
yeah, I agree with you 1000%. And I think it's just, again, selective outrage. We've seen other things posted that maybe would benefit Thug in other ways, that maybe someone would say, I don't know why that's being posted in the public. And we've even seen videos, quote unquote, leaked in the past that seemingly no one had an issue with until now. So,
right.
I don't know. It is what it is. There's always going to be that case. I'm just surprised Doug Weinstein is the one, after everything that law and crime has done for him and his client, like it or not. I'm surprised he's the one that's coming out and saying this, to be honest.
Right. All right. Well, I will let you go and let somebody else call in, and have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Same to you. Thank you for calling in. You can call in anytime. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
You too. Bye-bye. Row One Up is fired up in here too. Row One, you gotta call in. Says, it says, what did Row One Up say? Law and Crime ain't never posted any other defendant's personal videos from other trials. It's weird. No, it's an opportunity to post some great content. We're sitting here talking about it and people are watching it. What's the problem? Oh, man. We got 702 in
Call
here.
from. To accept, press 1. To send.
720. Good morning. Welcome to the Music Morning Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, what's up, man? My name is Christian Young, man. I've been watching the show for quite some time.
Oh, thanks for watching and thanks for tuning in, Christian. What's on your mind? You got some smoke this morning?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm hearing this thing about law and crime and how they released the video call and all that, but it's like at the same time, it's public information.
Yeah.
It's already out there, and when you go to jail, you don't have privacy. Again, it's like taking a shower in a glass house. Everyone
Common
can
knowledge,
see what
yeah.
you're doing. You may be having a private moment, but it is what it is. So, for me, it's like, plus, you know, let's say it was something that went against the state.
Mm-hmm.
Then everyone would be cool with it. So it's like we can't just have this selective, like if it's against thug, it's bad. If it's for thug, it's good. We can't be like that. We got to be unbiased the entire time, because it's like thugs complaining about this. This is the same stuff that Miss Love was complaining about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I even mentioned it during the trial. People were trying to zoom in on Miss Love's computer, zoom in on her cell phone and see who, or Simone Hilton was texting at the time. It's like, come on, y'all. Now, you want to talk about invasion of privacy? Just because they're using their phone in the courtroom doesn't mean you can try and see what they're texting or typing on their computer. But you have to accept the fact that if you're in a public forum like that or using a jail phone, that it's going to be available to the public. Sorry, it is what it is.
Definitely.
Yep, I agree 1,000%.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. Because I'm like, if it's public, even if you don't like it, even if you like it, you got to accept it. Like, you know, there were a lot of things that just came out, and it's like, I mean, even though we hate Miss Love, she made some good points. Not many, but she made a few. And it's like, I'm not just going to disregard that just because I like Thug or I believe that the state's crooked. Both sides made good points, and again, this is the same thing. Young Thug messed up having this phone call in jail. You know, when you're in prison, jail, you got to be careful. That's all it is. But
yeah, and I honestly don't see the big deal. I mean, Mariah knew what was the. I mean,
people just mad. That's all it is, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. But thank you calling in, my friend. I appreciate you. Can call in anytime. Thanks for giving your thoughts on that.
All right, for sure, my man. Have a good one.
Okay, you too. Appreciate you. Let me see if I can get 502 back in here in a second. But yeah, y'all are heated in the chat, man. I want somebody to call in that's got some smoke. Y'all, where's the smoke at? LTO says this, unfortunately, is just how the world is right now. A shred of something that can be considered juicy is going to come out, and people are going to say what they're going to say. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. This to me is the same thing as recording Young Thug walking down the street. I mean, he's in a public place. Record him.
Call from.
Roll one up.
Oh, Lord. Row One Up is in the building. Oh, man, here we go. Row One Up. Go ahead and get your thoughts off. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind, man?
I got a lot on my mind, brother. First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for calling in, man.
I'm blessed. Oh, you
Very
already
good.
know, because I just, it's not smoke that I want to bring, but I want to tell you why I feel this kind of way. All right?
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
So Thug has had 3 years of phone calls. True or false?
Yes, true.
And we're just now getting it the week of Christmas about his girl stuff. Now, if we were keeping it about the trial, like bro just said on the last phone call, if it was about the case, something that went against the state or even against Thug, and they put that out afterward, like, oh, Thug might have been guilty. Look what he said in this jail phone call. That's one thing that we could put on there. It makes sense. It goes with the trial. It's like, oh shit, we got some other news. This is straight girl gossip. It's straight shade room, and I get it because content creators have been making, especially Law and Crime, has spent the last 3 years making money off people watching 8 to 12-hour videos online of us watching Thug. So it's just straight Thug, Thug. That's what the people want to see. So you know what I'm saying? They pushing that. But at the same time, it's like, where do you draw the line between Law and Crime and shade room? If it's one thing to have folks on there talking like, okay, all right, we discuss the case, or Thug talking to the lawyer, like, and make sure you don't say that one thing about that one thing. That's, you know what I'm saying? Then we could say Thug is tripping. But for folks to say that Thug, they don't got no phone calls with his father, they don't got no phone calls with nobody else. Why are the phone calls with his girl talking about other girls? It's weird to me.
Ro, I lost you for a second on that last point you were making. You sounded far away.
Oh, my bad. I just said it's weird to me. So I just wanted to see what's your response to that, because I understand the content aspect. Make your content.
Yeah. So you want to say, where do we draw the line between Law and Crime and trials and the shade room? I mean, where do we draw the line on content creators, in which Law and Crime is posting the content that they want to post? Because here's my problem. My problem isn't people saying, oh man, why'd y'all post that? Y'all didn't need to post that. I don't have a problem with that. My problem isn't people saying, oh man, that was low. Law and Crime, why'd y'all post that? My problem is someone like Doug Weinstein having so much outrage about them posting a video that's publicly available to everyone and saying, I don't support them. Y'all don't go subscribe to their channel. You shouldn't watch their videos. And I regret every single thing that I did with them. That's where I'm like, yo, hey, okay, Doug, chill, relax on that, because Law and Crime has provided Doug Weinstein and Diamante Kendrick a lot of value. So for him to make that bold of a statement and say, wipe Law and Crime off of the map, I will never watch any of their videos again, I think that's extremely extreme. So if you want to disagree with them posting the video, fine. But to say everything that happened leading up to this point, as you mentioned yourself, them posting and streaming the trials every single day for the past 3 years and giving us an opportunity to comment on it, to see what's going on in the courtroom, and providing that insight into Doug Weinstein and how he's covering his client, that's going to benefit him down the road as well, because there's going to be people who want.
Correct.
That's fine. But Young Thug is the trial. Everything that has to do with Young Thug is about the trial. And again, I don't want to get into what Law Crime should and shouldn't publish. That's on them. Posting this is that low. That's your opinion. But for Doug Weinstein to come out and say, I regret every single thing I did with them, that's going too far from a content creation standpoint. And I think that's having selective outrage. That's my opinion on that.
I don't think Doug is looking at it as a content creator aspect. I think he's looking at it as these people were giving a light into the case. They were giving a fair access to the people. Like they weren't doing anything beyond just showing us exactly what was going on. It's not like they went out their way to get exclusives and have interviews like the content creators online have been doing, you know what I'm saying, and link with jury members and stuff like that. They had a camera in the courthouse, which we appreciate because we got to see everything. But imagine Doug being in there with these people every day, and it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. You guys will get to showcase what we get to watch back our work, and we get to reevaluate and see what we're doing, and you know what I'm saying, and tighten up and see the comments and address certain things. But then you get to this point, it's like, okay, y'all are dropping stuff that has nothing to do with anything, because that at the end of the day, you could say it's about Thug and the Thug content sales, but that content really had nothing to do with anything. It's Thug on there talking about him messing with other girls or whatever, or telling his girl whatever. It just doesn't seem like. I could understand why a lawyer who's built a relationship with these people for the last couple of years on them showing what's going on in the real world, and then going out their way to put some shade room shit up. It's just like it doesn't make sense to me on that aspect.
Yeah,
I see why Doug is tripping on that part because I thought y'all were just showing the real, not showing some extra stuff.
No, but that is the real. It happened while he was in jail. It's a real thing, right? They didn't just make this up or tap his phone. This happened while he was in jail for the trial. You get to hear how he's interacting with people while he was in jail. I think, is it interesting? Absolutely. Is it pertinent to what happened in the YSL trial? No. If you want to say, in your opinion, they should never post anything about Young Thug again because he's out and he's free,
no,
that's up to you.
A 3-year-old video the week of Christmas about girls. A 3-year-old video, do you understand how wild that is to me?
No, I don't, because their content, that's what they do. It's a YouTube channel. They make content. So
you don't think there's anything malicious behind it or anything?
I'm not arguing that. What I'm arguing is to have such a strong standpoint and say that it's morally wrong for them to post this. I think is the wrong direction to go. And
why aren't you arguing? Let me ask you that though. Do you think it's malicious on their end, or do you think there's some sneaky
on Law and Crime?
Yes.
No, they want YouTube views. They got 25,000 views on this video in less than 24 hours. I don't think it's malicious. They were like, ooh, you know what? We've got those videos of Young Thug talking to Miss Sayed. Let's go ahead and publish those. That's it. They're content creators. I don't think it's anything malicious. I don't see any evidence to that. And if you want to say this is malicious, then you have to say that, oh, everything they've been doing leading up to this point was malicious. Like, we can't have selective outrage for all the good that they've done for a lot of the defendants in this case. Like, we can't take this one thing and say all of a sudden, oh, it's malicious, because what's going to happen out of this? What do they benefit other than views from posting this? I mean, Young Thug and Mariah get into an argument and get divorced. I mean, like, who cares? They got their views. That's all they want. So no, I don't, as a content creator myself, and like I said, I wouldn't go this far. I don't think there was anything malicious behind this and they just wanted to get some views, period.
To me, as a content creator, it's almost shooting yourself in the foot, because with that relationship you've built with Doug Weinstein and the other lawyers, you guys could have done your Law and Crime. You guys could get exclusive interviews with Brian Adams, with Keith Adams, Brian Steele, Max Sharp, exclusive interviews, different perspectives. You guys can go to their next trial and put the next big thing on. But with posting and gossip about their clients, it cuts off the connection just for the views. It's a short-term gratification for a long-term problem, because now you can't really have that relationship that you could have had. That's how I'm looking at it as a content creator. It's like, play the long term, play the long game. Like, you could do way more interviews. You could get the jury up. It's just so much more stuff you could do with this Thug trial, because we still want to know certain things. We don't want to know that this nigga talking to Devin Haney's wife. That's weird.
A lot of people do, though, and that's their job as a content creator, is to.
I feel it, but that was my whole thing. I ain't got no more smoke.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Ro. I mean, you make some good points, and I'm with you on most of it. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I'm not feeling is Doug just going this far left and being like, I regret my whole time with them. I think that's a little much, but I appreciate you for calling in, man. You can call in anytime.
No problem, bro. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care. We got Roll One up in the building. Yeah, that's a great call. And again, if y'all want to say there's somebody behind this, oh, Viverito's in the bushes, and she tossed this video over the Law and Crime and said, get him. I mean, that's fine. But to completely go against the entire platform for posting a video that's easily accessible. I mean, is it really an issue? I don't know. And shout out to Law and Crime. They just doubled down. Look at this. I'm going to call some of y'all back. Law and Crime just doubled down. What did they just post? Oh man, shout out to Law and Crime. I love this. Look at this. Law and Crime Trials just posted a video. Young Thug gushes over girlfriend in an exclusive jail call. Who do we have in here? And I'm going to answer that call here in a second. We got to look at this video. They just posted this 12 minutes ago.
Call from.
It's Cindy from the 502.
To accept.
All right, Miss Cindy's in the building. Good afternoon, Miss Cindy, and thank you for calling in. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts?
Yes, ma'am.
I got a lot of them. Mostly, I don't have the smoke. I just agree with ClassE Beats a lot, but I do have a couple points to make. One would be, if Doug Weinstein had it to do over or even had a vote to give, would he vote to let Law and Crime in the courtroom to air all of this from beginning to end, or would he vote to keep them out just for the sake of Thug's personal business not being aired? I don't think he thought that part through very good.
Interesting.
I think his outrage, like you said, selective outrage, I don't think he's weighing the benefit versus the crime here. I mean, you can't. I wondered, I mean, the defendant doesn't get a say on whether they're in the courtroom. And I'm sorry, but once you're in the limelight like this, on not the good side of the limelight, like Thugs used to, you have no presumption of privacy anymore either. Not only is your presumption of innocence gone, but also your presumption of privacy is gone once you're incarcerated.
Yeah, and this is Young Thug. Let's be real. This is not John Doe from the from the Nobody Cares band. This is one of the biggest superstars in the U.S. So yes, you're being watched. As nothing has changed. Being in jail, being out of jail, your life is still the same.
Sure. The other thing is, would everybody feel better about it if Law and Crime had sent it to TMZ and they aired it? Would that make it okay?
That's what it sounds like. Some people are just mad that Law and Crime didn't keep it to Law and Crime, and they want to control the type of content they post. I don't know. It's weird to me.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Isn't that what they always say for years now? So, yeah, I feel like that's a big problem. I'm kind of shocked that Doug is as upset as he is about it. I thought he would be way more level-headed.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at this by Doug. He seems to take some pretty strong stances when it comes to certain things. I will say, disappointed that he went this way and went against a platform that was so beneficial to him and his client. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and we're all human at the end of the day. So I don't hold him against him.
I feel like if he had it to do over, he wouldn't have changed a thing, regardless of how he feels about him today. So.
Oh yeah, anyway. Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%.
All right. Well, y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Miss Cindy. I appreciate you calling in. You can call in anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. And Cindy makes a great point, man. That selective outrage is a bitch. Oh man. Slim Life is saying, what did Doug do wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. I just think that I'm surprised he's taking this strong of a stance against Law and Crime, when they're just doing what they do, posting and creating content, which they just posted another one, a phone call between Mariah the Scientist and Young Thug. Oh my gosh, Law and Crime does not care. They're doubling down. Will you look at this? This is wild.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. You can hear me? What's the matter with you? I love you too, P.
You can't read my lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I'm personally not interested in this. All right, I'm just interested in the conversation around it and the fact that this is readily available. And thank you for correcting me. It was Mall Beauty. I was using the word easily available. The word I should have been using was readily available. Anybody who really wants to get this can get it. So I will retract the use of that word and say readily available. But it's readily available. If you want to go get it, there are ways that the everyday American can go and get this information. But Law and Crime, man, I guess it's going to be called Law and Crime at TMZ in a minute. Mr. Vegas says, Law and Crime, the more they post, the more I'm starting not to like it. Those titles they put are diabolical. Young Thug gushes over girlfriend in exclusive jail call. Did they get hacked? So why is no one else posted this knowing the response? Yeah, I'm gonna tell them to keep doing what they do. I'm not mad at it. Do what you do, Law and Crime. Let me see. We had a couple more things I wanted to get into, and I appreciate y'all calling in and giving your thoughts about what's going on here. I think there's a couple people I missed that I needed to call back. Let me see. So we got 502. Let me call someone back and see. I don't want to call the wrong number. So if anybody else wanted to call in, y'all can call in and let me know what you think. Y'all are saying they're posting a lot of clickbait. Mr. Vegas said, ClassE, they're just being messy now and you know it. It's kind of funny though. Oh yeah, absolutely. But absolutely they are, Mr. Vegas. And I'm not arguing that. Like I said, I would not post this type of content on my channel unless it applied directly to something that we were covering during the trial. Like if this was brought up in trial and they said, oh, okay, we're talking about this. I'm really not into the gossipy stuff. No, I'm not even gonna watch this, to be honest. But hey, if Law and Crime wants to post it and that's the content they want to put on their channel and people want to watch it, then post it. I'm not mad at it. Shout out to Stephen G in the building with the 8 bomb. He says, Merry Christmas, ClassE and Amy. Had to pop into my favorite show. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being here. And thank you for the love. Hope you have a Merry Christmas as well. The World's End says, have a Merry Christmas all. Love and peace to you, loved ones and family. Treat each other good and make sure you tell them you love them without being recorded for the ritual room of others. Yeah, there you go. I love that, World's End. That's a great way to say it. Mr. Vegas says, I agree with Doug that you shouldn't have went so hard. I agree with you that Doug shouldn't have went so hard like that. I get what you're arguing. Yeah, it's just like, come on, Doug. Shout out to Mexima says, I'm new here and I love your content. Appreciate you. Roll One Up says, I was bold enough to speak. You in the comments, I broke out his kid. Don't take it so serious. Oh man. Yeah, this was one that surprised me from Doug, but he is human, so I'm gonna give him some grace there. All right, let me see. I had a couple more things I wanted to get into, but we might not have the time today. I love taking the phone calls too. And thank you so much to everybody who called in, for y'all being a part of the show. That's really my favorite thing, is interacting with y'all on the phone. So I appreciate it. Maxima says your videos are amazing. Thank you. I try. Mr. Brown says, ClassE Beats, the more you talk about it, the more they will do it. And the more people watch, the more they're going to post it. Anton Bishop says, a great Christmas Eve show. ClassE, thank you so much. Andrea Williams says, they got Yak for Thanksgiving, Doug for Christmas, and Shannon and Kayla for New Year's. Oh, man. Hold on tight. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. Petty at its finest. Yeah, they gonna run up the bag, Andrea, I'm sure. Wouldn't be me, but hey, Law and Crime. Do what you got to do. LTO says, I love your channel, ClassE. Thank you so much. You don't have to agree with everything that someone says on YouTube, but that doesn't mean you try to cancel them. Yeah. As a viewer. Yeah, he's saying don't watch the video. Why? Why not? Why can't someone watch the video if they want to? I don't know. It's so strange to me that that's the take that you have. But again, hey, when you're out here in a public forum, putting out content, posting on X, you're going to mess up sometimes. You're going to make some interesting statements. So Doug, I'm sure he thinks he's totally right. I disagree, and we're going to keep it moving. Law and Crime Trials is going to continue to grow and do what they do. Well, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Mr. Vegas says we can all have the conversation and leave with a little more knowledge. I'm all for it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love being here and that y'all are willing to have respectful conversations, even if we disagree. I think that's something that makes this community and this channel special. So thank y'all so much. All right. I know y'all want to watch this video, so y'all go watch the messiness over on Law and Crime. I will be posting videos throughout the afternoon today and tomorrow. So y'all make sure you stay locked in for that. We also have a live stream tomorrow. We are not taking Christmas off. We will be live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a Christmas edition of the Song of the Night Live. So if y'all enjoy some of the music from the independent artists here in the community, make sure you stop by then, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you do not miss any time that we go live or drop a new video. Merry Christmas Eve to y'all. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and I will see y'all in the next video. As always, y'all keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gone. Peace.